All right, everybody, welcome if you're new. Okay, same thing. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I will direct the class to whichever way the questions go. It's actually a priority of mine to make sure that you have your question answered, then the topic that's being relayed. But for today, we're going to be talking about VOD reviewing. It's one of those things where I notice that players tend to slack off because what's happening is when they're playing their game, they really don't know why they're missing shots. They don't know why they're losing games. They don't know why they died somewhere. And it leads into this really weird experimentation phase where they're trying to figure out what works and what doesn't, when in reality they just have to spend 1 hour and maybe, for example, not playing, maybe an hour where they can just kind of look at what's going on, maybe learning a particular lineup, but they don't really know exactly what it is, right? And if they don't spend that hour, then you could spend weeks trying to figure out what's different, what they should change, what is wrong with their aim routine, right? And this is what VOD reviewing is about. I'm going to give you guys a very I will say thorough way to look at your own gameplay that is not really involving what a coach might do. This is something that you can do on your own. So try to kind of follow along. If you guys have any questions at any point, just ask me. But this is just going to be for you, yourself, answering questions as to why you're not winning your games. Okay, so let's look at a clip. This is a very old clip. You're going to notice that this is from the old Icebox. It's not Icebox. Sorry, Breeze. Okay, this is a long time ago. This is a clip from a very old VOD. But I want you guys to kind of look at it. You might look at the map and be like, I don't really remember this, so I'm not really quite sure what the right way to go about it is. But we're going to look at the clip. I want you guys to kind of identify mistakes. There's a lot of them here. Okay, we're going to look into how to find rounds that you can explicitly look at. But right now, I want you guys to just look at this clip and think about what is it exactly that this individual, me, did wrong in this particular example, okay? No matter which rank you are, you will make stupid mistakes. You can sometimes autopilot. It happens to everybody, okay? Everybody's human. They can make mistakes. So let's look at this clip, and you guys can give me an example of what exactly is going on looking at all this.
Ready. Revealing area.
You want me to push with you?
Oh my god!
I'm gonna smoke the turret and flank.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Enemy down. No more.
Jets at
Out of
100.
charges.
Could have got stage shield.
Revealing area.
Oh, he was on the rail.
Nice try, man.
Okay, so that was the round. Not a perfect round. We lost it. Sure, we were winning, but we're going to look into every single thing that happened in this round, and we're going to look at mistakes, and then we can use these exact same things when we go over what you guys are doing. So let's start from the beginning. What's something you guys noticed that was wrong about the way we played this round? Me. What did I do wrong? How about you guys?
Round columns.
Okay, good. We had no plan, literally no strategy. Okay, we just did a normal round. And you're going to tell by looking at this screen that our money sucks and there's no plan at all. What else? What else do we see? A very questionable buy. Yeah, that is a very questionable buy as well. You're going to notice that we have some rifles. You're going to notice that some people are going with knives. We are going to see a kind of like a half buy. And I decide to go for a Marshall Sheriff. What is this? Iron, right? What is going on? What else do you notice that there's a mistake on? You guys can also pick on teammates, for example. What is something that they do that's something that I could have changed in this particular round? Any takers? Maybe I can give you guys some hints. Maybe right here. What's something that could have happened here?
There was no comms of enemy positioning.
No comms. We lost sight, right? We didn't really communicate that we completely left B, so there's no anchor, right? What else? Look at this. Look what
Push
happens.
with you?
Oh my god! I'm gonna smoke the turret.
Okay, right? Like this guy is just kind of doing his own thing, yelling, something you shouldn't be doing, by the way, right? I follow this guy through. He could have been an easy flank. I didn't have to go with him. I went with him, right? That's a mistake.
Thanks.
Right? What is something you guys notice about my kit?
You don't have your recon?
I don't have recon, but what else do I have?
Drone.
I have drone. Exactly. I have drone. I have utility I have yet to use. I could have probably used it maybe somewhere here mid. Maybe somewhere over here. Maybe help them push out. Maybe gone towards the pyramids. See what's going on over there. I don't know. Different, but I died with it. And that's already a huge problem, right? Look into what utility you have that's really useful. Like, for example, if you die with breach stun, okay, not a big deal. That thing comes back. But if you die with both of your flashes, something went wrong, right? There's something that you have in your kit that will always make you better. You died with jet dash. What are you saving it for, right? Questions like that need to be asked. What else did we notice? Okay, this guy died here. What did I do? What didn't I do?
Regroup.
Okay, we didn't regroup. This guy died. We lost our flank, and I just keep pushing. I didn't trade. Maybe I should have communicated that I'm ready to trade with him. He just went through. Maybe it's a little surprising. I got some pretty good timing here, but then I just decided to frag out with two of them. Means nothing at the end of the day. Just impact frags, right? What else? What else do you guys notice? Or is that everything? Do you guys think? Any last few takes? Okay, this guy dies. Push up. There's a vandal. Didn't grab a vandal, right? As Lamy said. Right? Decided to take the fight here. Questionable darts, right? Half cleared this area, right? There's a lot of things going on. And you're going to notice that from one particular clip, we picked up so many mistakes, right? And this is where the question starts coming in. Where do you come in as a player that when you look at your own gameplay, how do you know where to even look? There's so much going on, even in this particular round. It doesn't matter that we were winning. In fact, I remember we won, right? There's a lot of things we could do. Yeah, we could have easily droned this spot, for sure, right? There could have been someone here. I could have easily droned it. Because I even had like dart and recon back. Maybe I could have done something different with it. There was so much I could do, right? But like I was saying, there's so much going on in a particular round that you guys need to make sure you guys are very open to all of this things that we can pick up for each individual round. So we're going to be covering 7 different things. Obviously, the practice one, I hope we can get to. But I'm going to give you guys everything else that matters. So first few things, recording software. There's so many free options that I am not sure why a lot of you are not even using them in the first place. We have Metal. Metal's free. Okay, a lot of people like to post with them. On that same note, we have things like, I just forgot it, Insights. Okay, Insights is another example of it. Really good for it. OBS and Streamlabs, both in the same vein. They both can record your entire game, and they have something called a replay buffer. I recommend that you look it up. It's something very similar to clipping. Okay. There's other things besides Insights. There is, I forgot what it was just called. It's red. I don't know if you guys know which one I'm talking about. Outplayed. Thank you. Outplayed is another one. I used Outplayed for a little while. I really like it. Very similar to Insights. You can essentially customize Insights, Metal, and Outplayed in a way where you can exactly tell it what you want. How long you want the clip. What do you want it to look at? Do you want it to look at assists, your deaths, your kills, stuff like that. Xbox Game Bar is another one. Okay, things like that. All of these are really good examples of things you can use to record your gameplay. There is absolutely no reason why we should be looking at other things. I recommend that you use the ones that are already integrated with your graphics card. There's some people that swear by Radeon software. I swear by GeForce. Okay, they're really good. They're really useful. They get pretty much the job done really, really easily. If you don't have access to either, I know that some laptops do not support it, then you can look into the other ones. Okay, I used Outplayed because of that reason when I had a laptop. Okay, So look into stuff like that. I do know that there's some people that cannot just record. So maybe look into streaming if you want to do something like that. You can just completely close the stream if you want. But it's a really good way to get your recording of your games out there. So why would you VOD review? Okay. Looking at your mistakes is the cornerstone for your self-improvement. Okay. So picture this, you can't improve, right? You've lost all your matches. You got that in like amazing red carpet. You tried changing your crosshair because you think that that's the best way to do it. Okay. You tried changing your skins in your player card. New me. Okay. This is exactly what I'm going to be doing. You tried changing your sense because you know that players like TenZ and everybody else likes to do it when they're not feeling confident, right? You tried a lot of different things. Okay. You blamed your team. It's time for you to change something about your game, and it's not any of these. And that is taking time out of your day to kind of look at your game. So we're going to be looking at clips in just a sec. I'm going to give you guys an idea of that. Actually, no, I have to show you guys right now. So I'm going to show you guys by opening the new stream just real quick. I'm going to give you guys examples of 4 different ways that you guys can look at gameplay. Okay. So the first one is, let me share this. And let me know if you guys can hear it. The stream should be up. Okay. And let me know when you guys are all in. I can see a bunch of you guys already up there. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to be looking at different things, and there's 4 of them. First one is, let's talk about positioning and aim. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear it.
You're gonna play Rust?
Okay. Pay attention to how he aims. Right. Notice how he's slowly taking one piece at a time. Right.
I'm leaving you.
Notice how he's positioning himself in a way where he's not really giving up too much. He's just focusing on one target. Playing behind cover.
Outside garage. I don't know where the side for it.
2 front B.
He gets a kill. Immediately dips. He doesn't look for more. His positioning has already been compromised as he got a kill.
Yeah, Jets and
He
B.
leaves.
Raise top B.
Both.
Yeah. Careful, Raise rocket.
Towards ceiling.
I think he's A-Link.
No, he's ceiling.
Notice that because he decided to play a little bit safer, he now has a man advantage in a 2v3. And not only that, he was able to use that man advantage to essentially close out the kill on the arena.
Do we have bomb?
I don't think so.
And I
Technically,
believe
he could run
he
A.
doesn't get the kill. Or he does? I'm trying to remember. Old clip. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, he doesn't get it.
Nice.
You're going to notice that in this particular clip, we're able to notice one thing. Number one, when we're looking at our aim, we can start looking at things like, okay, am I holding crosshair placement properly? Okay, am I doing that? Am I playing around cover? Am I taking smart fights? Am I looking for the enemy? Am I trying to hunt? What am I trying to do when I'm looking for these fights? Okay, look at your positioning. It's really easy to learn from positioning on rounds that you won. So as a rule of thumb, look into rounds that you won to look at how you're positioning properly. Okay, look at how your aim is being used in that particular round. Okay, what exactly are you doing? And this is an example of showing how you can look at your aim and how you can look at how you're swinging angles and look at how you are playing safe and you're not trying to give away too much. So for example, you got a kill. That's all he needed. He didn't need to go any further. He's already popping off, right? He doesn't need to show anyone that he can get the kills. He's TenZ. Moving on, ability usage. Okay, this is another one that we need to look at.
There. It feels like very, whoa. I can't, my D key's not working. Oh, there you go. Trying to press the D key, it wasn't working.
Notice how he plays the op.
Crazy lobby done.
He didn't even use the dash. Notice how in order to conserve utility for another round, all he decided to do was put himself in a position where he didn't really need that, right?
Crazy lobby done.
He was able to hold on to this dash.
I'm rotating off A.
I'm pushing long C. Oh, yeah, one. Only long C.
Right? Notice how he was able to use that dash for an actual problem where he really needed it. By the way, hold knives.
Reyna hit 100. No,
Don't try to imitate.
Last player standing.
One's through garage window.
He was going towards C.
Whoa, what? I whiffed.
Okay. We're going to look at the next one. Lost gunfight. Okay.
Cypher
Three.
lurking mid. 100 on raid.
How did he lose the gunfight? He sprayed. He was moving too much. He was using a sheriff and just tapping it like crazy. Things like that are important. Let's look at losing a round.
Right here.
What?
Too long.
One more A lobby. I thought I killed
He
him.
got 2 kills. He got another one right there. And now we can kind of look at the enemy, like at the team. What exactly are they doing?
I was like almost certain I killed the Omen. Omen has 10 HP.
Okay. We have people pushing up.
A lobby.
They both. Yeah, they're
Thank you, Cantaloupe, for the sub, and thank you, Action.
I'm gonna flash.
Man, I'm so sorry. I'm mispronouncing that so hard. I think $3.
He's long.
No, I think not a new gun for now. The game's still pretty new. Thank you, Blackout, for the $4. How does the Vaxi mouse compare to the GSRSE? Is it slower or fast? It's a slower GSRSE.
You're gonna
It's like-
notice that we've
I think
already
it's
lost
slightly
3
thicker
players. All it took was 1 player overextending, and then the rest of the players started kind of trying to take a little bit of that same overextend. We had a Sage pushing up, didn't get anywhere. We had an Omen trying to catch the flank, got caught off guard.
It's like slower. I can definitely feel it slower. Thank you,
Smoking.
Trudini, for the sub. Thank you, Bleeper Bloop, for the sub. Thank you, Eth, for the sub. Thank you,
30 seconds left.
Sebastian, for the sub. Thank you, Ranja, for the sub. And thank you,
I'm in TP.
Jack Sakura, for the 5 months.
Last player
Right, we're gonna notice these players didn't even connect with one another. He's not even talking to them. Obviously, he's streaming, right? It doesn't matter. But things like that, right? Being able to talk to the team. Hey, you're not together. Hey, you guys can't do anything, something like that. Something of the sort is happening. We notice that these players just take once. We can see why we lost that round. Okay? Now, after this, I'm gonna give you guys some sort of practice with it, but I needed you guys to sort of look at what we had right there. Go back to the slideshow. Okay. So we looked at those clips and think about the following questions, okay? And I want you guys to think about it. When you were looking at that positioning, when I was talking about how he was positioning, how was it in relation to his team? You're going to notice that a piece of successful positioning that he had was he was keeping himself close to teammates. He was in a position where he could trade teammates. He was trying to always help the teammates out, okay? What about his aim? You're going to notice on the ones where he was showing really, really good aim, he was already prepared for fights. He was positioning himself in a way where he was trying to get something out of that fight, right? Ability usage, we talked about it, right? It had intention. There was a lot of intention in the utility that he was using. And of course, we can talk about like when we're looking at it, is there something that we could have done differently, right? Something as simple as not spraying the sheriff, right? Okay. So if you're new at VOD reviews and you don't like to spend a lot of time into VOD reviews, we're going to be looking at it in the next 3 letters: winning, dying, and losing a round. Okay? WDL. We're going to be looking at how you won a round. If you are someone that wants to figure out what exactly makes you win or what exactly helps you win, you can look at all of the rounds that you won. Okay? There's a lot of things about it that made you win. It could have been they made a stupid mistake. You guys gambled. You were doing really good with your aim, right? And you can start taking notes out of the 4 things we talked about: positioning, aim, how you lost the fight, how you lost a round, right? So you can look into winning a round. How did we not lose this round? Well, it turns out that we had a really good cipher, okay? So maybe next time, either A, I can kind of copy what the cipher was doing and try it in my own games, or it's one of those things where I'm hoping that whenever I see a Cypher like that, I can kind of pay attention to what they're doing so I don't fall for the same mistakes, right? I noticed that the Cypher had a really good one-way, right? And the enemy team kept pushing it. He kept getting kills. Well, next time you see a Cypher that's using the same one-way, you're going to be aware of what happens, right? So looking at winning rounds helps you identify what exactly it is that's helping you win that round, what ticks, okay? Second, dying. When you look at your death, there are a couple questions you can ask. And the first one is, was it preventable? Okay? And the way that you died could be different in many different ways, right? It could be really, really weird in the way that you died. You could have been wallbanged through the smoke. Who knows? But was it preventable? Did you make noise? Did you start spraying with a vandal through a smoke? Was that necessary? Okay. Were you aiming properly, right? Did you spray? Did you move? Stuff like that. Last but not least, let's look at that one round again where TenZ lost despite having 2 kills and then that one extra, 140, right? He lost the round. How did you lose it? Well, we can look at this. Communication error. Bro was just streaming, right? He's having fun. But in your own games, I'm assuming you would spend a little bit more time trying to communicate. Okay? Did you guys gamble something? Did you guys use terrible ults? Did the enemy team have really good ults? Like something like that. You guys have to look at those things all together. Okay? So whenever I tell someone you need to start looking at how you're going to be improving in VOD review, look at those 3 main things. Okay? So there's more than meets the eye, of course. We can look at things like, your movement and counter strafing, right? We can look at peeking angles, communication, utility usage, right? All of these things kind of help us identify where our where our rounds could be better and our games could be better. So for example, when we're looking at something like crosshair placement, right? When you're looking at your game and you lost a gunfight, was it head level? Did you burst fire? Did you spray? What did you do, right? When you're looking at movement and counter strafing, I find that a lot of players don't really know their dead zoning, right? So make sure that you're properly counter strafing before you start shooting. I find that a lot of players just think that it's muscle memory. Sometimes they should just be aiming, okay? Maybe that's why you're doing really poorly. You just been playing different games. You've been playing Helldivers too. You're not really used to it again, okay? Peeking in angles. We talked about that positioning thing again from pathing, right? What angle are you picking? Are you picking like an angle that's really far away from the wall so you can slowly approach it? Or are you trying to fast peek from really far away? What are you doing, right? Communication and callouts, right? We saw it in that clip, right? The dude that's screaming, not really helpful. How many did he see? I have no clue. Could we have changed something? No clue. Be concise, okay? Utility usage, are you even using it? We talked about it, right? I didn't use my drone in that one clip. What was I even doing? And you're going to notice that a lot of the rounds where you guys lost, maybe you didn't use utility. Maybe you're saving it for another round. Maybe you know that if you use all of your flashes and we lose the round, we are not going to get a chance to buy flashes the next. That can happen, but I need you guys to be using your utility. Look at those plays, okay? Enemy team plays and utility, right? What are you noticing from what they're doing? We talked about that Cypher, right? Maybe the Cypher has a really good setup and maybe the enemy team is using that exact same setup. Can you counter it? Can you do something about it? Did you play a counter pick, right? Did you pick KO? Do you have something you can do about it? Can you pick a different site? Positioning, are you alone? We talked about it again, right? We noticed how when TenZ was deciding to push 3 people, 4 people at once, it didn't really work out for him. Did he learn from it? I don't remember from the VOD, but he did really well. That's all I can say. But one of the things that was really helping him out is over time, he started to really start playing close with teammates. You're going to notice that even when he whiffed that sheriff shot, he was playing with somebody, right? And aggressive versus passive plays. Look into those plays, look into those play styles that you're really adapting to, that you're watching, right? And make sure that you're not misinterpreting them for something else. Were you playing aggressive or were you impatient, right? Were you being passive and not really sure whether you should push or not? Or were you just holding an angle, right? Some players are like, oh, I'm not really pushing, dude. I'm just too passive. I'm not getting anywhere. Maybe you're just holding an angle. There's a lot of context that's necessary. Okay, so let's look at these final clips again. We have 3 practice clips that I want you guys to use, and we're going to essentially look at them again with the time that we kind of have. And I want you guys to sort of discuss a little bit if you guys can pick up some of the things, okay? Some of the things that we've kind of learned a little bit, and maybe we can use that to improve our VOD review. So let me pull up the clips again. Okay, so here we go. Wait just a second so you guys can join in. And I will say before we start the practice, do you guys have any questions? Anything at all? No questions? Perfect. Okay, we're gonna get started then. And let's just look at these clips and see if you guys kind of got it. What are some things that you noticed? What are some things that you could have improved
I
on?
blocked my dash.
I can drop you a deagle, Sage.
Ooh. Sheriff squad.
I have the spike.
Jet's long air.
Reloading.
Do I have my shirt on backwards? No, I don't.
Classic.
Thought I did for a second.
Cypher trip B again.
Okay.
I'm gonna smoke your garage window.
I'm gonna drop.
I think we smoked C.
Could push A. Careful.
Yeah, I'm holding window.
I'm in C.
One flat. You guys saw one flat.
Come,
Oh
come,
yeah,
come, I
that's
got a wall.
classic. Overflow.
One garage.
Wait, I'm dinked. Can I have a heal after?
So, outside.
Player standing.
Aw.
Okay, let's look at the clip. Let's look at the right and the wrong. Do you guys notice anything about that particular clip that went, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe I would have done this differently. This guy did this that we talked about. Any takers? It's from here, maybe. Any takers? Look at their money. Maybe they're doing some weird buys. Anything. No takers. You guys are so shy. You guys are never this shy. Okay, how about this part right here? Right, he's solo pushing at long range with the sheriff against rifles. Call it cocky,
Is that my
call it
shirt on
aggressive.
backwards?
What
No,
is
I
he
don't.
doing with that? Right? Maybe he's him.
Thought I did for a second.
Things like that.
Cypher trip B again.
Okay.
I'm gonna smoke your garage window.
Peeking while reloading, yeah? Right? He's not even done with the full reload. He's like deciding to peek. Okay,
Reloading.
something
you guys can do.
Do I have my shirt on backwards? No, I don't.
How about here in the fight? You're gonna notice things like, for example, this guy just decides to randomly start TPing. Right? Gets the trade, really good, but then we start noticing things like this part,
Wait,
right?
I'm dinked. Can I have a heal?
Right? We're noticing positioning. We're starting to kind of lose that control.
So, outside.
Player standing.
Any takers? Again, keep in mind what I mentioned. There's so many things that we can kind of look at when it comes to
I'm in C.
like the aim. How did he lose the fight?
Come, I got a wall.
Right, we're gonna notice aim was fine at the beginning.
Wait, I'm dinked. Can I have a heal after?
Right, got coerced into a fight. He's still at dash, right?
Player standing.
Spam shooting. That's something we talked about in one of the clips, right? Yeah, Sova could have been helped out. Yeah, he could have definitely helped the swing there. He was just waiting for that heal, but Sova didn't even communicate in that round, right? Like he was just gonna be pushing. You could just look at it from the mini map that he was pushing, right? But he aggressively pushed.
Wait, I'm dinked. Can I have a heal after?
Right, in this scenario right here, we definitely could have had a change of roles. We could have had someone holding this angle, and maybe we could have had someone else pushing. Maybe the spike was really important, right? He could have just smoked them. He could have dashed out. He could have held across. Right, looking at utility usage that we talked about, right?
Player
Didn't even use dash. Didn't use all the smokes. I don't really see how the updraft could have done anything there, but you know, stuff like that, right? We saw ability usage wasn't thoroughly used. We saw aim a little bit, kind of spammy, kind of not. We can learn from the fight. We can see that the reason they kind of lost it is because there's that Omen, for example, just dying randomly, and then we couldn't really help out the Sova. Kind of didn't help anything there. Okay. This is just for starters. Later down the line, you can say something like they didn't get enough utility out, or they didn't get enough picks, right? Stuff like that. But for now, that's that. Let's talk about number 2. How long did I make these transitions? Oh, it's because it's frozen. I love Windows Media Player.
I'm gonna break this cipher trick for you first.
I'm thinking electric Kool-Aid for the 7 months, and thinking Bolts and Gas for the sub.
Get out of my way.
Jet might be open.
Yeah, look at the aim. Where was he aiming? He was aiming at Feetsies.
He ran away.
Playing with the team, maybe. Okay.
That's Raze, Jet, and Reyna.
Okay,
He's
he
in the
lost
right
the
cubby.
fight. He decided to take 2 fights at once. The team wasn't even out. Didn't ask for flashes. Okay. Well, there's
Push
nothing
down
to look
long
at.
A. He has an op, I'm pretty sure. Is that not? Oh no, that's a phantom. Why is he using a classic for everything?
Okay. Team was there. Remember what I talked about? Gambles. The team just completely gamble on a full rotation. They all were all there, right? They didn't do anything with it.
Right,
We
Jet.
can look at things like how he was taking the fight.
My drone,
Spike
bro.
down A.
Right?
He ran away.
He goes here, tries to take a fight, crosses over.
That's Raze, Jet, and Reyna. He's in.
Right. Notice how he depends too much on his aim there. So he didn't really have to die there. He could have just taken one piece at a time. He took too much at once. His team wasn't even there with him. He was playing alone. Right? Things like that. You can kind of name them out as you're playing. And you're looking at those rounds. Look at those losing rounds. This is a round that he would have lost. That's a round that he would have looked at. That's something he would have noticed. Right? Okay. One final one.
On this sense, mid, like long term, because this is technically like a medium sense.
Right here.
Nated window again. Give heal.
Right. Using the dart there to push aggressively. So far so good.
There's 2 mid.
Team is pushing with utility.
I'm holding long area now.
Flank.
2
They're
people holding
rotating. They're
angles.
just rotating with an
Yep.
arm, I think.
Not bad.
Okay,
Can we
I'm
smoke
gonna
heaven?
flash and we
Calls for utility.
flash it for us.
Are you joking?
Right side heaven. Omen might be in the smoke.
Are you joking? No call out.
There's
Where's
at
this
least-
guy?
I think there's 4 here. Everyone but Omen.
I'm looking at heaven.
That's what they're looking at, right?
I don't
Dart.
see it now. Damn, we're
One repeating. One hopping heaven, hopping.
hopping heaven.
Oh, what the fuck?
Goes immediately to trade. Sage is slightly isolated. Comes back.
Reyna is like under window or something. Is he in window?
Under.
Damn, Raze is right there too.
Swings as the dart is coming in. Just full confidence. Doesn't even know there's a second player there. Unlucky. Right? You can see from all the things that are happening, right? There's so much going on, and there's so little to really do when you're just being stopped, right? Like they're just being held down by the chokes. There's not much they can do. So from here, we can look at things like, okay, well, you know, they weren't really communicating. This guy just said, "Are you kidding me? Where was the race?" Right? Like, we can just look from the clip right around. No, not there. Right around here.
They're rotating. Their jet's rotating with an
Yep.
arm, I think.
Right?
Okay,
we
I'm
smoke
gonna
heaven?
flash and we
Yeah, smoking. I'm gonna
flash
flash
it for us.
Right? You got spammed through. Right? We know
Right
that
side
that's
heaven.
where race is.
Omen might be in the smoke.
There's
there's at least, I think there's 4
Someone
here.
calls, the whole team is here, right? Could be right, could be wrong, but no one does anything with that call. We try to slowly walk out.
Everyone but one.
And you can notice things like this when you are watching lost rounds, right? You can look at your aim, you can look at your positioning. This guy's alone. He could have easily died if they decided to push him out, right? He decided to use utility again really quickly. So you can say something, this is good. I can get a good vantage point. Almost got the op up here,
I'm
right?
looking at heaven.
Just didn't get a chance to get it. All of these things are really useful if you look at those things. Look at your winning rounds. Look at what you're doing right. Look at that aim. Look at that positioning. Look at when you lose those fights. Okay. And just in losing rounds, again, look at when you win fights, when you lose fights, when you're taking space or you're playing with your team. All of those things are very important. Okay. I'm going to close this off. Do you guys have any questions whatsoever about the class today? No questions? Perfect. You guys must completely get it now. Okay, we're gonna be starting with our scrim. Oh, it's a little early.
Saying completely, do not worry.
Okay, don't worry. We will be closing this off.